Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to talk to you today about a DIY project my husband and I just finished. The simplest thing that has increased the functionality in my backyard by like, oh my gosh, tenfold. We used to have a hose connected to our outdoor spigot and we just wound it up manually and stuck it in a bucket and called it a day. And I was getting so fed up, I never wanted to use the hose because it would just be a pain in the butt to like wind it back up and put it in that bucket. Not to mention the bucket was collecting lizards and toads and everything. So on the Black Friday sale, we bought this Gorilla Tools Retractable Hose Reel. This is the 1/2 inch hose model, 133 feet max length, and so I think I should have no trouble with 133 feet reaching all corners of my backyard. And this is the attachment that comes with it. It is full of like all these different settings: cone, rinse, shower, vertical, angle, center, so you can change it to whatever setting you want. But it's also standard hose connection, so you can connect any type of like watering wand you might have already, or any of your favorite accessories. And this hose is just connects directly to your spigot. This is called the leader hose. It's about, I think they said 5 or 6 feet long. So you can't go that far away from you can't mount this whole thing that far away from your faucet. So they have 2 different mounting methods. One being mount on your wall, but that makes me really nervous. I don't like to put holes in my stucco. I just feel like Florida's already so wet. If I put holes into my exterior wall of the house, I just feel like I'm asking for water issues down the road. And so what we did was, well, my plan was to mount it on the post. I was thinking I would do a 4x4, so a 4-inch, like I'm talking about the cross section, a square, 4-inch by 4-inch post that's like standard for wood decking and fencing, so you could find it in the fence aisle and everything at Lowe's and Home Depot. But if you read on this particular model, the bracket requires greater than a 4-inch by 4-inch square post. So I went to Lowe's this morning and spoke with the sales associates, and they recommended that the next size up is a 6x6, which I looked at it and I just said, oh my gosh, that thing is huge. So I wasn't exactly thrilled about that. I would much prefer to just be able to use a standard fence post, and I bet you can on smaller models. I'd have to double check that. But I ended up buying one post, 6 inches by 6 inches, or it's a 6x6, but they say it doesn't necessarily reach that specific dimension. Like a 6x6 is probably actually 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And I got it 8 foot tall, but I mounted one in my front yard too. So my plan was just to buy one post, cut it in half. So we dug a hole, we buried about a foot, and if I can be honest, I bought the concrete, the quickset concrete, but then we were just thinking, I mean, this post is so sturdy, do I really have to bother with the concrete? And so I did not return the concrete, but we did not pour the concrete today. We just plain dug a hole and stepped on the dirt around it as we filled it back in to make sure it was like compacted as best we could. And it seems pretty sturdy actually right now, no issues. If that changes down the road, I can always just pull this post up and put cement down. So maybe that is something you guys are worried about. You don't want to pour cement and put a post in your backyard, but so far I don't think I need it. Time will tell.
So I can get in there and
So let me show you the retractable feature and why I just love this thing. First of all, this is, I think they just call it like a lock. It's a position lock for the hose. You can unscrew it. Yeah, I think you have to unscrew it with a Phillips head screw and adjust the position. If I didn't want it to hang down this far, for example, I could move this lock right here if I really wanted to. And this just prevents the retraction from pulling your entire like head of your hose back into the plastic casing. So anyway, to use this thing, you just, you know, grab your piece, pull, and then it'll stay put. When it's time to reel it back in, give it a tug, walk it back in. Piece of cake. It's gonna make my life so much easier. Now I'm not gonna dread using my hose. One of the things I was worried about before I bought it was actually the fittings. Like, because the hose is listed as a 1/2-inch hose, I thought that they meant the fittings were 1/2 inch also, and I needed an adapter to use like my watering wand that I love, and other accessories, or like my pressure washer in the front yard. But don't worry, the fittings are all the standard hose thread 3/4 inch fitting, so they'll fit any normal hose tool that you want to buy, or adapter or whatever. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I know it might not be the most visually appealing, but just imagine if I were to put shrubs underneath my window all the way to the wall, and then over here all the way to the wall. I could really disguise it and still have like so much increased functionality in my backyard. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you next time.